Do a quick sound check. Testing, testing.
I hear you.
Testing, testing. All right, we good. We live. Right. So, Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Right. That's Yahweh, who the world only calls God, in the name of the Son, Yahushua, who the world knows is Jesus Christ. Right. We the angels of Yahweh. It's your brother, priest Kazak Magun. I'm here with the other angels, man, from the other zones and from Chicago zone. Right. And we finna get into a live lesson. Ashar Chaadash, happy new moon. So I'm gonna let the brothers introduce themselves.
That's the brother Bakash, right? Originally from the Angels of Chicago, Angels of Yahweh Chicago, out here in Texas. Looking for a brotherhood out here, man. Sign up, man.
Right.
Khan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This is Aharon, the righteous, right? Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Chicago, right? Hey, we about to get into this lesson. Sit back and enjoy.
Huh.
It's your brother Marwal. You already know. You call me the Flood. It's your brother Marwal from Chicago, man. Better known as Shah Ruslan, man.
Right, Shah rules. We pushing Shah rules. Right. So yeah, we gonna get into some new moon scriptures, right? Cause it's the new moon for us. It's the eighth month, right? We in the eighth month now. You know, and every new moon we follow the dark moon, which is basically when you can barely see the moon in the sky, right? Where you really can't see you just can see the outline of it if you look real hard, right? But we just gonna get a couple new moon scripts. The brother got one. Then
Yeah, I
go
got one.
ahead, but all right, go ahead.
This the classic Psalms 104 and verse 19. It reads, "He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth his going down." Right. So, hey, in the beginning, the Most High created the moon, right? He created those celestial bodies, right, for seasons. And that is the foundation of how we, go about following the days of the week. It started right from there, right? So that's how we go into keeping the new moon, keeping the Sabbath. Everything is based off, right, those signs. I'm gonna read it again. It said he appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth his going down. And when you look up that word seasons in this verse, right? When you look it up, can you pull it up on the blue
Huh.
letter? Come.
You say you in Psalms 104, right?
Yeah, come. Right. Because when you
One
look up the word seasons, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you brothers on the stage know what it means, right? But it literally says it's a feast. But I'm gonna have the brother bring it up so I can show you.
right. This Psalms 104:19. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun's know it's going down. Right. That word for season. Y'all can see the screen, right?
Yep, con.
Correct. Right. The word for seasons is H4150. Right. It says appointed time, sacred season, set feast. Right. Like the brother said, set feast. Right. Appointed season. Right. And let's go get into unless one of y'all was holding Cyrac already.
43, I got it.
All right, go ahead. You can read that because that segue right into it.
This the book of Sirach, chapter 43, and I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, "Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her seasons for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. Verse 7. From the moon is a sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
Con.
Uh, right, that's really self-explanatory, right? So like it says, for the moon is a sign of feast. All right, so the moon is what gives us our feast, and it says the month is called after her name, right? So each new moon brings in a new month, right? And so, like I said in the beginning, right, according to our calendar, we're in our 8th month. Some groups or some camps, they currently in a 7th. They just enter into their 7th month, which would mean that they're keeping their feast of trumpets. Tonight we kept ours last month on the last new moon, right? So yeah, so just like the brother Aharon brought out, right? That moon, that set time, that time appointed is going into the feast, right? That comes with each month, right? And also to line it up with Ecclesiasticus, 43 and verse 7, it says the moon is a sign of feast, right? So the moon is where you dictate your calendar and how you get your feast days, right? We don't go off the
Hey,
Gregorian calendar or the Julian
Salaki.
calendar or the damn B system calendar. We don't go off of that. The new moon
Salaki.
is Slaki, go ahead. Well, let me just
Yeah.
land this point. The new moon is also, how we get our Sabbaths, right? Our Shabbats. But go ahead, King.
Con.
No, I was gonna tell you, my boy fell off. He just
Oh,
said,
come. All right, I'll add him back on.
Yeah, con. He fell off.
Come, come.
Thanks. Start with that.
You good. Let me grab Psalms 81, the classic. Right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 3. It says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So, right, so when the new moon comes in, you're supposed to blow the trumpet, which what we call is a shofar, or in the ancient Hebrew, I believe it would be shower par, right? So you will our custom would be to blow up the trumpet in a new moon. It says, and in the time appointed, right? And I believe when you go into this time appointed right here, it's talking about the full moon as well, right? Which shows a distinction between the two. It says on our solemn feast day, right? So the new moon is our solemn feast day, right? Like the brothers brought out. But let's go. So with that, we go segue into our first topic. We go get into some current events through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And we gonna start off with the Trey Reed story, the brother that been so like did I have a article on that? The brother that been he was lynched, he was found hanging from a tree, I believe in Mississippi, right? Found hanging from a
I
tree in
think so.
Mississippi. Y'all can hear me?
Yep. Con.
Okay, John. Yeah. Found hanging from a tree in Mississippi, and they trying to rule his death a suicide. But we know Esau, through his craftiness, that's what he wants you to think, right? They did the same thing with the brother. What's his name? Kendrick Perkins.
Con.
That was his name, right? Kendrick Perkins.
Con.
I believe that was his name. He was rolled
I
up in the
think
gym
so.
mat.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that story as well, real quick. Uh, oh wait, no, not Kendrick Perkins. I'm thinking about the NBA stuff. What's the brother name? Let me see. Roll up the
I
gym mat.
remember that though. That happened a couple years ago.
His name was something similar to that. Gym mat.
yeah, he's from Atlanta. His name Kendrick for sure.
Kendrick
Uh,
Johnson. I don't know why I said Kendrick Perkins. His name Kendrick Johnson, right? I'm just click on the Wikipedia for that. Right, but they tried to say that this brother death was a suicide as well. They
uh,
say on January 11th, 2013, the body of Kendrick Johnson, right, born October 10th, 1995, it said was discovered inside a vertical rolled up gym mat in the gymnasium of Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia. Right. So the South, and we know the record of the South. The South is famous
Tragic.
for
Tragic.
hanging niggas. Let's
Yup.
just say it like that. The South is famous for
For lynching.
uh yeah, lynching, persecuting our people. It's famous for these things, right? And so they tried to rule this brother death a suicide, I believe, but his organs was missing, wasn't it? They said they took his organs out of his body and all that, and he was upside down in the gym mat. They tried to. I remember seeing a diagram showing that he was trying to get his shoes out, out from inside the gym mat, so he crawled down into it. But when you look at the picture, his shoes was by his feet. So how is he trying to crawl down to get his shoes? That means his shoes, and if he got stuck, that means his shoes would have been in his head area above him or in front
Right.
of him. But his shoes was by his feet. Let me see. I don't know if they got the pictures. Mhm. All right, that's a picture right there. They don't really showing no photos, right? But yeah, so they tried to rule his death for suicide, and nobody got charged for it or anything like that. And that's just crazy. Like they kill us and then say that it's a suicide. I got a quick precept. Well, we're gonna get into the Trey Reed story and then I'm gonna pull a precept. Right. Let's go ahead and go into the article. This is from USA Today. We just pulled this link. It says Colin Kaepernick initiative to cover costs of independent autopsy for Trey Reed, because really you can't trust your enemy. Right. If brothers want to pull that, Baba Kashar, we can read that real quick before we jump into it. Because why would Colin Kaepernick want to pay for an independent autopsy? Not just not because every time someone dies, they do an autopsy on their body, right? When
Con,
it's suspected of foul play or suspected of, something that could happen, they always go do an autopsy, right? To see
I
if,
got you. Yeah.
drugs is in their system or anything like that. So why would we need an independent autopsy? Right? Sometimes people want to go and hire a private investigator, right? We
Right.
do these things because you can't trust, the you can't, let's just say, you can't trust the devil, which is the
Right.
so-called white man according to the Bible,
That's
right? You
right.
can't trust him. Your brothers got that.
Con, I got it. Uh, it's the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. And it reads, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right. You want to
Uh,
break it down? Oh, I got it.
Oh, oh yeah, I thought you was, but yeah, it basically just
Go ahead.
saying, like iron rusteth, because iron is surely to rust, right? Meaning it's gonna go from this a state to where you see it looks good, and then down the line, it goes through a certain process and it rusts. Well, your enemy is like iron; it should surely rust. Your enemy is going to truly show itself and show its colors one day, right?
Right.
And that's just like with these different nations, and in particular the so-called white man, right? They're like they
Mm-hmm.
can be your friend, they can be cool with you for a certain amount of time, but the moment you make them mad, you a nigga. The moment you make them
Yeah.
mad, you a slave, you a this, you a that, right? That's iron resting of itself. It's showing its true colors in the latter end.
con.
Mhm. Right. So that's the reason why we would, get an independent autopsy, because you can't trust that these people are really giving you the correct information. Right. Even when Sandra Bland died, right? The sister RP Sandra Bland. Every time you see our people, getting killed, you gotta really look into it and see what's going on. Like how they tried to say, with the sister Sandra Bland, they tried to say that she died in the jail, but we kind of believe that they killed her before she even got to the jail. I remember seeing the stories online. They was talking about they taped their eyelids to keep them up and all that, and her mugshot, it looked like she was laying down and not really, standing up. It looked like she was dead in the mugshot and things like that. because the sister just mysteriously ended up dead. Unalive, right? Even with the sister, what's the sister that we went to the protest for? Sonia Massey,
Yeah,
Yeah.
calm.
right?
Yeah.
They tried to say that she was finna attack the police, trying to throw the hot water on them. I believe she put the pot down before they even shot her.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like you really got to look into these things because, like the brother pulled out like the brother said, the devil is gonna show his horns. Like that iron is sure to rust. The horns of the devil is sure to show, right? And
Right.
he's gonna be subtle. He's gonna do these things, right, to hold himself not guilty in our killings,
Right.
right?
Calm.
Yeah. And
But
to
let's get
add
into
on,
this.
and to
Go ahead,
add
go
on
ahead.
to that, and to add on to that, uh, George Floyd got murdered in front of the world. He suffocated. The cop had a
Mm-hmm.
knee right on his throat, and they say he died
Right.
off fentanyl.
Off fentanyl.
You know what I'm saying? They
Like,
try
come
to
on now.
come on now. We watched you. The brother was calling for his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And everything. And then they always got a counter attack to what the truth is.
Right.
Uh, this is their mo. It's called propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. They
Calm.
call that they call that pulling a cover or pulling a wool over your eyes.
Right.
Right. They trying to, they hiding what's real, try to say that you ain't really see what you saw. It
Right,
Right.
wasn't really
right.
what you thought it was. It was, she was trying to attack.
Right.
She had a knife in her hand. She had a gun in her hand. She had a pot of water. You know, he had fentanyl in his system. That's really why he died. It wasn't the knee on his neck.
Right.
You know, that's that's crazy. They
Calm.
Con,
they
I
come
got
with
a
these
precept
lies.
too.
I got a
Con,
precept.
they
Calm.
come with these lies and just try to, tell you that it is what it ain't, or it ain't what
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
But go ahead with y'all precepts.
You
Calm.
good, King?
Calm. So I'm gonna grab this precept. It's in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, right? In the Apocrypha Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 21. It says, such things they did imagine and were deceived. It says, for their own wickedness have blinded them. Right? So their own wickedness have blinded them to a point to where they feel like what they're doing is not even wicked. Right? I'm gonna go to verse 22. It says, for as the mysteries of God, they know them not, neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discern a reward for blameless souls. So when it comes to these situations that we're touching on, right? You got these different people that are men in power, right? Specifically the white man, right? When they do something, they feel like they're justified. I believe it's a law in place for the justification of like police officers. It's called immunity, right?
Right.
So
Right.
Yep.
their wickedness is they're blinded by their own wickedness. They've been deceived by
Mm.
their own wickedness. So when they do these different things to our people, they see no fault in what they're doing.
Right.
To them, it's like it's almost like a game. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's what it feels like. It's like a game because they're being deceived.
Uh.
You got it, Aharon.
Con, the brother, right, man. We
Yeah.
gotta, so, and we got people, right, so-called blacks and Hispanics, right, man. Nat Turner would have killed every last one of them niggas, man, right? Because you got a lot of brothers that got these, like I don't know if y'all know the Cartier brothers, the Cartier family. They some Jakes. They got a whole YouTube channel dedicated to uh pleasing the white man, sucking up to the white man, sucking up to their
Mhm.
audience, and they call everything when we call out everything, because even our people that ain't in the truth, they they call out unrighteousness, right? And these brothers come on there and they get to saying, "Oh, that's black fatigue. That's black fatigue," right? See, and
Right.
these brothers that don't got no, they caught up in the white supremacy cult called Christianity, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they don't understand that under Christianity, under the banner of Christianity, they used to hang uh Israelites, so-called blacks, on the trees, right? They used to hang us up on the trees, right? The Ku Klux Klan set the cross on fire, right? Under Christianity. And they'll have a banner over the dead body saying Jesus saves, right? So hey, this thing ain't nothing new, and this how we can identify right? All they lies, right? All they lies is right come from their forefathers. These are
Mhm.
same people back on the earth again, right? I'm
Right.
gonna read this in uh Obadiah 6, Obadiah chapter, verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? Right. How are the things of Esau searched out? Right? Because they, like the brother was saying earlier, right? This is how wicked he is. That even though we saw George Floyd die, right, with the knee on his neck, right, in 4K, they try to say he died from an overdose, right? It's just so happened he died from an overdose with a knee on his neck, right? This how wicked Esau is, right? Because he loved lies, he loved blood, he pursued blood, right? It's a how are his hidden things sought up, right? Verse 8, shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? And that's what you're seeing today. The wise men are getting destroyed out of Edom. Babylon is falling, right? This place is right slowly but surely. You just had Donald Trump on the his own his own fan base coming at him. Fox News grilled him yesterday about the economy, right? And he all he could say is fake news, right?
Right.
This place is crumbling right before our eyes, and we need to be glad and rejoice in the day that the Most High made, because hey, these things are coming to light. They telling on themselves and everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said, how are the ways are Esau searched out? That's how we can identify who Esau is, right? Because they got these same exact character traits. You know what I'm saying? Why everybody's saying Esau, uh, Esau has not been what they say. Esau has been he don't exist no more.
Right.
You know what
He
I'm saying?
that the prophecy already took place.
Right. So yeah, man. Yeah. So the mountain of Esau, hey, it ain't gonna be no more understanding in it. Right?
Right.
That's what's going on. Right?
Right.
You see what the Most High do. He shut your mouth when he don't like what you saying. He know
Mm-hmm.
how to shut. You know what I'm talking about. He know how to shut your mouth when you know he know it's nothing but lies and hypocrisy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This land was built off hypocrisy. But Khan, y'all got it. Love my plan.
Right. So like the brother was saying, this land was built off lies and hypocrisy. That's why in these politics with Trump and speaking on these Epstein tapes and these Epstein files, Trump trying to say that it ain't no Epstein files, but it is, saying that, he didn't know Epstein, but then you got videos and things that, showing that they was real close, that they was so-called best friends and wrote letters to each other for each other's birthday and all of that. You know, and it's crazy. This is why I want to pull this Psalm 64 and verse.
Verse 4.
I'm, is that what I want? Uh, mm, I think I want a verse 8, but I can start. I'm gonna jump up. Let me see. Really, this all good for real. I'm gonna start at verse 2. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of workers of iniquity." And the wicked, as we see through the scriptures, you got what is that? Malachi 4, right? That Esau is the border of wickedness, right? So they will be known, Salakia, as the wicked in the scriptures, right? The so-called white man, their race, right? The Edomites, they are the wicked. So this is David saying, "Hide me from the secret counsel," because these people, they take secret counsels from the high level even to the lowest level. That's why we see brothers like Kendrick Johnson and brothers like Trey Reed and sisters like Sandra Bland and Sonia Massey. They have all these secret counsels, right, within themselves, or with themselves and within their secret groups and all of that, that their sole subjective is to destroy us or oppress us, to further push us down and keep us under their subjection and under their feet, right? Ultimately, they want to destroy us, right? But that's their secret counsel, and the Lord, David is asking the Lord to hide him from that, right? He says, "Who wet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words." Right? It said they wet their tongue like a sword. They use their mouths as weapons against us, right? That's why I say in Revelation 12:8, the accuser of our brethren is cast down, right? When the so-called white man get taken out of power, he's known as the accuser of our brethren, right? Because he working under Satan, right? But he's accusing our people, day and night. They put false flags on us. They set us up for they set us up to kill each other, right? Dropping guns and crates off in the neighborhoods of Chicago and these other major cities where Jake is, highly populated at. They put drugs in our neighborhood and say that, that it was our choice to do these things, but they the ones got us hooked on the drugs. They the ones pushed them on us. They the accuser of our brethren, right? They the accuser of us, right? It says, and they bend their bows to shoot arrows. The modern day arrow is the bullet. It's the bullet. They bend their bows, meaning they shooting us. They killing us with their guns. And also, their mouths is weapon as well, right? But it says even bitter words. It said that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Who is the perfect? That's Jacob. We the perfect, right? It says suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves and what it's like. I want to go back to that part right there. It says suddenly they shoot at him and fear not. Cause these people they don't got no repercussions for killing us. Don't nothing bad happen to them. Don't nobody go and get that get back
Right.
Salaki,
for all that the so called white man does to us. Go ahead.
you seen that video of the police in Chicago was telling Jake, he's like, run so I can shoot you. Run so I can shoot you. You ain't see that?
Mm. No,
I
Oh,
don't
we
see
gotta
that.
pull
that's
that up, bro.
crazy.
He was like, run so I can shoot you. And then he was like, I got you on camera, gang, talking about run so you can shoot me, gang. I got you on camera, gang. You talking about you
See,
gonna shoot me. You telling me to run.
see,
Mm.
and that's that. And it's like since when is it protocol to shoot somebody just because they run?
Yeah, he
I
started
thought you only
smiling.
supposed to pull your weapon if your life is threatened. How's your life threatened if somebody is trying to get away from you? If someone is running away from you, how is that threatening your life? I don't understand that.
Being trigger happy is a real thing.
Yeah, trigger happy. Like that's that cunning hunter, that hunting spirit. Run so I can shoot you. People
Mm.
want to catch. They what is that when the so called white man he go duck hunting? They
Okay.
don't just shoot the duck when the duck is on the ground. They want the duck to try to fly away. So they probably might throw a rock or something. Go get their dog to run through the flock of ducks or the flock of geese or whatever, so they can start flying off, into another spot, and then they go what they aim, and then they shoot it while it's running away. I mean, while it's flying away, right? They want to do the same thing to us. They see us, and they hunt us as sport, right? That's Limitations 4, and I believe that's 17. If anybody want to pull that, right? But yeah, it's a sport to them to do these things. Shoot you so I mean run so I can shoot you is crazy. But that shows that he wants to do it. He eager to do it. Like this is sport. He want to hunt us like a damn deer or something.
Yeah, I just sent it to you too.
Okay, come.
You
I'm
said
put it up.
Lamentation 4:17.
Yeah, I believe 4 and 17. Let me show this real quick. So like yeah, this something totally different. This something about some glasses I heard run. You might have to it might have sent me the wrong video.
I
But
think you gotta pull it up.
no, I had went to it.
What it say?
It's a super black technology sunglasses.
Hold up.
Yeah, it's showing them. It's showing them new Ray Bans.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh, oh, you know what? That's the ad. I think that was the ad. That's the ad.
Yeah, you
Oh,
probably
probably with the
sent me
pop up
the ad.
ad.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I got it now. I got it now. You just sent it. He's on these damn advertisements. Hold on. All right. Can y'all see it?
Chicago, Illinois. God damn, that
No,
was
we don't see
terrifying.
it.
That was absolutely terrifying.
Hold
I'll
on.
let
Hold
you
on.
watch.
I hear it though.
Let me stop sharing the screen real quick so y'all can see it. Y'all, can y'all see it now?
Gone.
Look, I'm just playing it off the phone.
Start running. I'm gonna shoot you. Start running. Start running. You just, I got you on camera saying you going Chicago, Illinois. God damn, that was terrifying. That was absolutely terrifying. I'll let you watch more of the videos, but that in itself, that is some like human hunting shit. That is something that literally a slave owner.
That's exactly what brothers just said. That's human hunting. Run so I can shoot you. It's crazy,
Damn.
right? Shalom to the brothers in the chat.
Shalom, brothers.
But yeah, Khan, that's human hunting. Run so I can shoot you, right? Brothers got that limitations.
Come on, I got it.
Bring it out.
Uh, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, and verse 18. It says, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our
Hmm.
end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Right. And so, like, if you could go up one verse before the hunt
Come
our
on.
steps.
Come on. Verse 17. Lamentations 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Right,
And
our
our
eyes is failing. We hope when your eyes is failing, that means you putting your hope in something. You longer for something. You seeing something that's not really there. You want to. It's something you hoping to see, and it's not really there. Your eyes is failing for it. Right, for your vain help. Right, vain mean pointless help. Vain is something pointless. Right, it's something that's meaningless. Something that's not there. That's not real. Right, keep going.
it says, in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Right, in our watching, meaning what your eyes is longing for. We watching for a nation that can't save us. A lot of our people, they put their hope in America, but what has
Right.
America rewarded you other than all the bloodshed, all the lynchings, what we going into right now, the racism, all of that. You watching for a nation that cannot save you. Instead, the nation is doing the opposite, trying to destroy you. Why is you putting your hope into a nation that's only trying to destroy you? And it shows you that, period, point blank. So, like, you keep going.
Con. Verse 18. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets.
Right, and they hunt our strips that we can't go in our streets. Right, they subject us to these hoods, these neighborhoods, these projects, and then they come and police the projects and basically hunt us while we outside in our own quarters, in our own streets, in our own neighborhoods, right, in our own sections of the city. They come and they hunt us for sport.
Mm.
Right, that we can't even go outside for real. Right, that was it on that.
Now that's a little more.
Go ahead.
It says, our end is near, our
Hmm.
days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven.
Right, our persecutors are swifter than the eagle, and the eagle is called an apex predator. The eagle is an apex predator. Doesn't nothing hunts the eagle for real. The eagle ain't got no predators against it. It's an apex predator. I mean, it's at the top of the food chain, right? And it says our persecutors, the people that's coming up against us, they swifter than the eagle, right? Keep going.
It says, they pursued us upon the mountains, they laid
Hmm.
wait for us in the wilderness. The
Right, they
black
pursued us upon the mountains. They look down. When it's spotting the prey, it might be high up in the sky, right? It might be sitting on a cliff or a mountain or something like that, or on a tall building, right? Or a lot of times when you driving down the highway, You might see those eagles, hawks, they all birds of prey. You might see them sitting on a high light post, right? And they looking down into a field or whatever. Then all of a sudden they just swoop down and land on a rat or something like that, or land on a snake or a rabbit or something, right? They do those things. They hunting. That's them hunting, right? And it compares our oppressor to the same manner of that eagle, in which how the eagle hunts, our oppressor hunts us. Keep going.
Verse 20. It says, the breath of our nostrils, the anointed of Yahweh, was taken in their pits, of
Hmm.
whom we said, under his shadow we shall live amongst the heathen.
Right. And that's what we're doing. We're living amongst the heathen, and we constantly getting persecuted, right? But the roles are finna change, as that verse is going to go on to say in verse 21, right? That our captivity, is coming to an end, and that Edom, and ultimately that verse in verse 20 and 20 and 21, says that Edom is going to be our last captivity. The Lord said He's going to no more, you know, uh, send us into subjection under these other nations, right? My boy, you holding something?
Nah, nope.
Oh, okay, Con. I thought you was holding something. All right, Con. Was that it on that Bakash?
Yeah, unless you wanted 21 and 22, but hey, Khan, you pretty much explained it in the end.
Yeah, Con. Let's go back into the article though. Right.
Uh,
So this is from USA Today. No, wait, no. From MSNBC. It says Colin Kaepernick initiative to cover costs of independent autopsy for Trey Reed. Right. I'm gonna jump down to right here. Reed was found dead hanging from a tree on the Delta State University campus on September 15th. Cleveland Police Department officials said the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office conducted an autopsy and determined the cause of Reed's death was hanging, and concluded the action to be a suicide. Right. So this is why we had to swoop in and basically, get our own autopsy, because the department officials, or the state medical examiner, and who you think they ran by, right?
mm,
It says concluded that the action to be a suicide. So like we said earlier, so-called black people, we're not really too deep into suicide like that.
Right,
I mean, you might have a couple little outliers or whatever, a couple people that didn't did it, but as a mass majority, we're not too deep into suicide like that.
right,
We pretty much people that, we take our licks and we keep on trucking.
right,
mm,
We basically, we we basically, just live with what we going through. Like, we don't really do the suicide thing like that. That's not really our MO. The white people, they do that, the other nations, they do that, but that ain't really our MO. Because we built through the spirit and power. That's just all the faith that we have within us, that one day things is gonna get better. So we don't really look at suicide as an option. We just keep plowing through. But unless somebody has something, I'm gonna keep going on the article.
I can add on to that.
Go
Like,
ahead, go ahead.
it's another reason why black and brown people, black and Latinos don't really commit suicide is because hard times and struggles is a normality.
Right,
mm,
We don't get shook by hard times or and like how white people they so up. So when they have hard times, they overreact and they commit suicide. We used to hard times. It's actually a
right,
normality.
Khan.
right.
That's all niggas
It's like
know.
with our don't
Right.
Salaki. It's like with our lives, right? Like I say, we lose family members all the time.
Right.
We got people that's in our family that's addicted to drugs and all that. Uncle then came in and stole your TV, took your game
Right.
system, and sold it to smoke rocks or whatever. All of that. Those things are, you know, as crazy as they seem, those things are real common in our life.
Right.
Poverty is real common in our life. Going to the fridge and seeing that it's not nothing in it, but you just want to look anyways, even though you know it's not nothing in it. Even though, even though you hoping something that's gonna appear. You hoping
Right.
something gonna appear, but it's not. Like, that's a common thing in our lives, and that's just something that we grew accustomed to. It's just the everyday struggle. But when the heathen go through that, right, it's abnormal to them. It's an abnormality, right? And they damn write books off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Write books talk about, how I coped with, losing my father to, being robbed or hijacked or something like that.
Mm.
Niggas lose their fathers every day. Niggas don't even know their father.
Right.
Right.
Niggas have to
Right.
grow up without their father, all that. That people the so-called white man could write a book on, you know, his brother being addicted to damn coke or something like that. And niggas are reading and be like, well, how the hell like this become a book? How this book become a movie? Like this is my everyday life. I've been dealing
Right.
with this since I was young.
Right.
But this white man, he got rich off of telling this story. Well, I know 10, 12 people like this in my neighborhood right now. Right? This is a normal thing to us. Things that they kill themselves over are normal things to us. And
Right.
things that we just see that we just have to go through that just come with the game. It come with the game. We just gotta do it and just keep going. But let's keep going with the article unless brothers got something. It says Cleveland Police Department added that final tech toxicology results are ongoing and could take 2 to 4 weeks to finish. That's kind of crazy. 2 to 4 weeks for toxicology. It said according to a statement via the Clarion Ledger, part of USA Today network. According to a press release from Crump's office, Reed's family has raised concerns after receiving conflicting accounts and incomplete information about the circumstances of his tragic death, right? And that's a precept that I wanted to pull, right? They receiving misinformation and stories with holes in them, right? Let me pull this real quick. Zechariah 11. Cause these people they kill us and then try to say that it was a suicide or it was this or it was that this was the real cause of death. That's all for them to keep themselves innocent in the public
Right.
view.
Yep.
Right? This is Zechariah 11:4. It says, thus saith Yahweh my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Our possessors. Who are the people that possess us? The people that had us in slavery, the people that are oppressing us right now. Right? You got the so-called white man and these other nations. They slay us and hold themselves not guilty too. The Arab man, he just as guilty.
Done.
Right? I was just watching a video about the how these sisters go down to Dubai expecting luxury lifestyles and they down there, getting brutalized and pimped out by Arabs. And it's crazy how, they trick them into coming down there for that lifestyle and then they get kidnapped and then and X trafficked. I'm gonna say X trafficked and all of that. They end up in these bad situations, right? Because out of all the nations, right, that's on the earth, they always use our people for they gain and they benefit because they know nobody cares about us.
Right.
They know no one is going to come for the justice of a so-called black woman or a so-called black man, woman and child, right? So it's like when it come to us, it's free game. It's free game. We up for grabs. Like they could just do these things to us, and there ain't gonna be no repercussions. It says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty." That's the no repercussions right there. And they that sell them say, "Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." So they that sell us, meaning our oppressors, and those that kill us, they say, "Blessed be the Lord." Like God gave these people into our hand for us to do these things to them, and they become rich off of it.
Done.
George Zimmerman, he sold the gun for around, I think it was like almost $1 million or over $1 million that he
Right.
killed Trayvon Martin with, and he signed a Skittle pack. What is that called? Arizona teas,
Done.
and make it profit communities. These pastors, the Al Sharpens, the Jesse Jacksons, those people that we look to for leaders. They don't pity us. They don't care about what's going on. They only care about their own game. right? But let's get into that video, right? Because the so-called white man, they try to say that, niggas is out here hanging themselves. Oh, I had it on the phone. They try to say that niggas is out here hanging themselves when that's not the case. I'm gonna try to play that video on YouTube. Let me see if I can open up another tab. Just use this tab.
Because fell off.
And I'm gonna add them back on.
And can I add on too? It's black death is valuable to the white man.
Right.
Like even when you look at crackers like Dylan Roof,
Mm-hmm.
when he went to jail, they raised almost $1 million for
Right.
him. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like Black Death is rewarded and celebrated by their people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
they took his ass to damn Burger
Burger
King.
King, right?
Hmm.
Took him to Burger King,
How y'all stop him by Burger King? Got him something to eat. All that, and that's just crazy. The way they do us.
right,
Like they commended him for killing those so-called black people, killing
right.
Hey,
those elderly folks.
do you know what's crazy about that?
What?
When you
He
look at this,
prayed with him before he killed him.
when you analyze situations, like their reward for killing a black man is a Burger King meal, right? But when you want to pin a black man versus a black man, his reward.
Like it, you had cut out. I couldn't hear you. You
Can
had cut out,
you
man.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. You just got to repeat what you said. Cause all
Con,
last I heard was what's crazy.
yeah. So I was saying, what's crazy is, um, for killing a black man, David Ward is a nice meal, right? But when they want to pin a black man versus a black man, right? What they do, they use the same tactics. So either way, to them, it's a win-win. If a black man kill a black man, it's a win for them. If one of them kill a black man, it's a win. So what they do, they put food in front of their face. So for
Right.
instance, what I'm getting at is when people go in an interrogation room and they're telling each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
They make the black man go and get each other, but they're fees before that. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're doing is you're ultimately helping them. You hurting yourself, but you helping them. So
Right.
they feel like giving you a reward, such as a meal, is rewarding you for your wicked acts, whether it's a white man killing a black man or pinning black versus black, which is crazy that they
Mm-hmm.
that they do it like that though.
Right. That's that give a dog a treat. Get a dog the treat if he do the trick. That's what they call the Italian beef and Pepsi. Niggas is telling for Italian beefs and
Oh,
Pepsis.
I fell off.
He said, "What happened?"
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, Con, we
I
hear
can
you.
hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying that's that give a dog a treat. Did he drop back off? Con, he'll be back. Brothers is telling just for small rewards and less time. You know, just go ahead and just go to jail, brother. Just do what you guilty of, brother. Just do the time that you guilty of. Why tell on the next man to help the so-called white man take your people down? Just do what you guilty of, bro. Ain't no point in just telling on the next man to get yourself out the situation. Right? That's being the tailbearer for real. You don't want to do that. But Kosh, can you hear?
Con, I can hear now. Yeah, con.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get into this. Because the so-called white man, he trying to proclaim himself to be innocent, but then at the same time, they tell on themselves with stuff like this. Let me know if y'all can hear it. I'm gonna play it on the phone. Let me see. I gotta stop the screen to do this. Huh. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
I can't hear the volume if you got the volume up, King.
Can you hear it?
That's low. I can't really hear it.
You can't hear it? Y'all can't hear it?
No,
No, I can't hear you.
I couldn't hear it.
Hold on. Let me turn my mic up. I run. Was you able to hear it?
Yeah, I already know what it say though.
Yeah, con. All right. But this is Forgiato Blow and JJ Lawhorn song called Good versus Evil, right? And he's saying we need a big tall tree and a long piece of rope to hang them outside of the town or whatever, right? And they said you better not get caught in our town, basically. Or is they saying after sundown or something like that? They
Con
said
after the
something
sun.
like that.
Yeah, after the
Yeah,
sundown, sun go
right,
down.
right, right. So basically, they're saying they gonna hang niggas is basically what they saying.
Uh,
They go hang black people, and it's just coincidentally that this song come out around the time that a brother get hung in Mississippi.
right,
Just coincidentally. I ain't saying nothing. It's just coincidentally that this song just happened to come out after a brother get hung. Right. That's why I want to pull this preset real quick. So like, let me change the format. All right, let me pull this preset real quick. Go back to Psalm 64 because I ain't never get to pull the preset that I wanted. Right, this Psalm 64 in verse mm, 8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So they make their own. They confessing their guilt through their mouth. Same way Jake he get in the booth and start telling everything that he did,
right,
and everything that his homie did. The so-called white man, he do the same thing. The Lord makes him do the same thing. They make their own tongue fall upon themselves. Your own tongue, your own mouth condemns you, basically.
Mm.
They say all that see them shall flee away. And our people, we need to see these things and get away. It say who will pity a charmer that's playing with snakes, basically, in the book of Ecclesiasticus. So if you playing with snakes and you get bit, that's just what you get. Right? The crocodile hunter, he got bit by that stingray. That's just what he get. You want to swim with stingrays. This you got what was coming to you. Can't nobody be sad about that because you know what you was getting into. You go off and you hang with, these so-called white people and you end up hanging on a tree or you end up missing and getting fed to some pigs and chopped up and all of that. Then, you basically just you put yourself in that situation. You should see these things that they do to our people and flee away from it, as the scripture is saying. Like the Lord said, they condemn themselves with their own tongue.
right.
All right. But yeah, so they Esau, they've been killing our people for years. Brothers got any precepts? I'm just keep going on this.
Yeah, I got
Con,
I
Go
bring
ahead,
out
go ahead.
I got this Ezekiel 35:2.
Con, that's the
Son of
spirit that I was
man,
just gonna go there.
son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And the reason
Mhm.
why I brought that out is because white people, they know who their enemy is. They're
Right.
they they are unified by that. They not cut in the middle. They hate as a whole. They hate black people. But when it comes
Mhm.
to us, we inclusive. We inclusive to everybody. We want to invite everybody in, and we don't know who our enemy is, and that's crazy. Them the curses. You know what I'm saying?
And, yeah, any precepts? I'm finna pull this out. This is Obadiah chapter 1 verse. Before you close that, jump down to verse 5 for me, Baba Kishar.
Okay. This Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Meaning the everlasting hatred, perpetual, right? Meaning it just keep going on and on and on and on, right? Like the Lord made a perpetual covenant with the Israelites, which is what Christians don't understand,
Uh,
right? and the perpetual covenant with David that from his loins the kings will reign upon the seats of upon the kingdom of Israel. Right, his descendants will reign upon the thrones of Israel. That was a perpetual covenant, as it says, a covenant of salt that he made with David. Right, Esau had a perpetual hatred against us, and he still does. Keep going.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel
Right, and they
by the
shed our blood on a daily basis.
right
Right, keep going, Salakia.
by the force of the sword in
Mhm.
the time of their calamity, in the
Right.
time that their iniquity had an end.
Right. So they shed the blood of the children of Israel on a daily basis. Right. In the time of our calamity, in the time that our iniquity had an end, in our weakest point, the so-called white man is still gonna try to kill us.
Right.
Even when we can't, even when we defenseless, he's still gonna try to kill us.
Uh,
A key point in that video that the brother Aharon sent me that we played, run so I can shoot you. A person that's running, they're defenseless.
right.
If I'm standing my ground and I'm fighting you, I have a defense. But if I'm running from you, that means I'm defenseless. That's why I'm trying to get away from you. But you saying run so I can shoot you. You want to shoot somebody that's defenseless. You want
Uh,
And
to
he started
unalive them.
laughing. And he
You said
started
what?
laughing.
And start laughing.
Yeah.
They get a joy out of this. Right?
yeah.
That's that perpetual hatred. Right? That's why the Lord said he's going to do unto them according to, well, he's going to have us do unto them according to his anger in the last days.
Uh,
Right? Let me grab this real quick. This Obadiah 1 and verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Right. So, according because of the violence that they committed against us, people believe that we hate Esau because his skin tone or
right.
his skin color. Like it's about that. No, it's about what they did to us, the violence that they committed against us, the hatred, the acts that they committed against us, all the way from the ancient world all the way up until now. That's why we hate them.
Uh,
Right? It don't got nothing to do with no damn skin tone. It don't got nothing to do with that. A damn Christian was just in my inbox the other day talking about you just hate them because of they white, they different color. First off, nah, we never said anything about color. It's about what they did to us,
right.
right? It's about the track record.
Right.
Con.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull another one, Jeremiah 49, which is basically quoting Obadiah. It's Jeremiah 49 and I'm gonna start at 7. It says concerning Edom, who is Edom, the so-called white man. Right? It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Right? And Teman, right, is a tribe of Esau, right? And basically they were like the wisest of Esau. A lot of brothers, a lot of elders that I learned from, they liken Teman unto the Germans. Basically, they said that the Germans are like the smartest Edomite, but that's neither here nor there. It could just go for, any of the wise men or the prudent men out of the Edomite nation. It says, "Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring calamity of Esau upon him. That I mean, the time that I will visit him." Right. So the Lord is going to bring calamity upon Esau. Right. What's calamity? Let's go into that word right there.
Con.
Let's go into calamity. You gotta go into these words. Right, calamity. It says ayada. Ayad. It might be ayad or ayada. That's the ayah. I believe that's the da. No, that's not the da. Sabaki, that's not the da. The da is like a well, yeah, that may be the da in the Syrian script. I'm used to seeing the Paleo Hebrew, the triangle. But it says distress, burden, calamity of nation, disaster, right? Day of calamity. So disaster, a burden or a disaster. All right, let's go down to a burden, load by which one is oppressed or crushed, destruction, ruin, right? So the Lord is going to bring their destruction. He's going to bring their oppression, right? That's what that word is going into in the day of their calamity. So like where I was just at, Jeremiah 49, right? It says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave from gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will, it said they will destroy till they have enough. Right. So even if some people came and, taking some grapes you know, uh, or if thieves came and ransacked your house, they're not gonna take every damn thing.
Right.
They're not gonna leave you with, just the floorboards and the damn drywall. They not gonna take everything. Right.
Right.
But the so-called white man, he has that spirit of greed that he wants to take everything from you. He wants everything to be his. Right. He
All
wants
right.
ownership over everything that you have. So like what y'all say?
Now I was gonna say I got a precept link in that.
Kind of going.
Con. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, and I hated Esau and
Mm-hmm.
laid his mountains as his heritage, waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, right? Being covetousness or being covetous, right? Saying that they gonna come and return and build the desolate places, trying to take what's yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, right? When you look around America and you look around everywhere the white man has been, or the nation of Edom in general has been, they have took and they have built, right? It says, but the Lord said, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Verse 5, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. So that's what the white man do, right? He's here to just like the characteristics of the devil, right? He kills, steals, and destroys, man. Right? He take everything that you got, right? He build it and make his own rules and laws to it, and
Right.
try to make it his own operational system. But the Lord said everything you've done is going to be thrown down and cast down anyway, right? That's why the Lord got an indignation against you forever. An indignation is like a long for hatred, right? A long like indignation is like what's another word for indignation? What's a similar word for indignation? It's like
Anger. Let's
sore
just go into it.
destruction, anger, like you know what I'm saying?
Right. Let's go into the word. Matter of fact.
Huh. And like I said, like the brother said, it's not about skin color. It's your track record. It's the Carfax. You see what I'm saying? It's the spirit you carry. Right? You've done so much to our people. You took in so much and wiped our people and took the land from our people. And you've built this place where you call it the America. Or this place where it's called America to have an American dream. And you still stripped us of all things, even in this place called America. It's
Right.
your track record. It's things you do.
People against the Lord have indignation. Right. So
Time.
that's H 2194 Zawam. Za- Uh, it says to denounce, express indignation, be indignant, to have indignation, be indignant, be angrily indignant, be
Mm,
defiant, to be abhorrent, to express indignation in speech, denounce, curse,
mm,
right? To show indignation, show anger. I'm gonna keep going. It says properly to it says a primitive root properly to foam at the mouth, to
man,
be in to be enraged, abhor, abominable, angry, defy, have indignation. That foam at the mouth, you see people when they foaming at the mouth at you,
They mad
right?
as
That
hell.
means they, yeah, that's what they call bloodlusted. You wanna really, get them out the way for real. You trying to kill this person. You bloodlusting. You foaming at the mouth, like a dog with rabies or something. And a dog with rabies, all it want to do is what? Destroy,
Con,
bite. Brother saw the movie with Cujo.
con.
Cujo was foaming at the mouth, and couldn't nobody be around him. He was even tearing the owner up.
That's why Yahweh Shah is in the heavens with the Most High right now, waiting.
Right,
He's just waiting. He's foaming at
right.
them, just waiting,
Mm-hmm.
waiting,
I got a
waiting for the
pre.
Lord to tell him, for the angels to come tell him it's that time. He
Right.
got that indignation in his spirit,
Mm-hmm.
right, for everything you have done to our people and to him, right?
Right.
Uh,
Go
I
ahead
got a
with your
precept
precept.
too.
Go ahead.
Right. Right. So hey, Esau, these same people that you know that we in direct conflict with today, right? They got them same old spirits that their forefather had. You know, you had these same spirits like what's his name? Nero. He burned
Yep,
down the
Nero.
city and he burned down the city and it was like a what you call it today, a psyops or something, right?
Hmm.
Right. A false
You know,
flag or a
False
psyop.
flag,
yeah,
yeah.
false flag just to blame the Israelites. They've been and
Mm-hmm.
they do this stuff, they do these false flags through their media and through their propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And they get everybody to side with they train of thought, right? They get everybody to side with them, and you'll see everybody in the comment, just look the other way, right? Because they pushing everything through that media, through Fox News, right? The right wing conservative, the far right wing extremist conservative channels all on social media, right? And that's how they get everybody. They sway everybody with the popular opinion, right? The same way that they elected Trump, right? Through
Mm-hmm.
sorcery, right? This Isaiah 47 and verse 9. It say, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children, right? Now we already know that, hey, that's the reason, right? And the loss of children is being prophesied, right? Through the most high closing up the womb of the so-called white woman, right?
Right.
They
Right.
can't even procreate right now. They
Mm-hmm.
don't be fooled by uh what they say in the media, right? They really the minority. They not the majority, right? They the minority, and this is why they want to separate so-called black and brown, right? Because they already know that they the minority. They look around like, wow, we outnumbered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So hey, that's coming. The Most High already shut off their womb, right? The loss of children, right? Um, reading on, it says, and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Because this is what they do, man, right? They try to shut us down, shut everybody down who speak truth, right? Even so-called Donald Trump, he was running off of so-called freedom of speech. But as soon as you speak the truth, oh no, it's a problem. We got to that's hate speech. You see that?
Uh-huh.
That's hypocrisy, right? So hey, the
Yeah.
Most High gonna he's gonna shut Esau mouth, man. Right? He's gonna shut him down in one day, in 1 hour, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
So like, I got a point too when you're done, King.
go ahead.
No, that just when you brought up how like they know they've become the minority and not the mass majority. Everything history repeats itself, as we know the scriptures say. The scriptures tell us there's no new thing under the sun, right?
Right.
When Pharaoh sent us, you know what I'm saying, in Egypt, right? when you go into the book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse I believe it's 8 on down, right? When he looked at us as a people, he said, man, look at this nation, right? Look how many, they growing fast, they populating. Hey, let's kill them off. Cause if we don't, they gonna rise up.
Right.
So that's how they think now. They with us being in modern day, right? Symbolic Egypt, right? That's how they think now, right? Oh, look at all these niggas rising up. They know who they is now, right? They having kids. They flourishing. They call on the name of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Everything is changing, right? Let's kill these niggas, man. Right? Let's come against them and be confederate against these niggas. It's the same tactic they use, right, back in Egypt, man. Right? But that's my point.
That's the a key
Fine.
person that did that was Margaret Sanger, right? Margaret Sanger, she came up with the Planned Parenthood to, eradicate the black and Hispanic race, right? Because they know that we are outnumbering them. And it's saying Obadiah, let me just grab it on my off the sword, right? This Obadiah verse 2. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised." And this is a two-way scripture, right? Small meaning you hate it among everybody. They looking at you like you small. Like when you look at somebody like they small, that mean really you hate them or you
Con,
despise them. You irritated by them by their every move, you know. But small in a literal standpoint, the so-called white man, like the brother Aharon, like the brother Bakash brought out, these people is they diminishing, they race is diminishing.
con,
Like they can't have kids for real. They birth rates is low, right? And the kids that they do got, they all dying in school shootings. It's crazy. They suffering from an opioid epidemic right now. You
con.
go into where's that in Philadelphia? Kensington, something like that. That whole little strip where
Oh
they
yeah,
got
I
all
heard
the
something about.
addicts over there
Yeah,
slumped
yeah.
over and linked over. Majority of them is white people out there.
Mm.
Con.
Majority of them out there is white people. That's Deuteronomy 30 right there within itself that the Lord is gonna put and we saw that in Milwaukee when we was out
Yeah,
there.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw that.
That's true.
What they said, the Edomite named Joey. What y'all said? What's
Yeah.
his
Oh
name?
man.
Aharon Joey. He out there, man. He
Oh,
out there
boy.
hyped out. That's all I saw was white hypes out there.
Mm.
Con.
White hypes. Like that's all they had. Was white fiends and I was like, this is beautiful.
Right, and we
Con.
ain't mad at it, con.
We're not mad at it. This is beautiful that you're not really seeing. You might have some of your people out there destroyed because we still under the curses as well. But the Lord is slowly turning the tables on the other nations, and we seeing that. We seeing that they falling in the same snare that they tried to set for our people. Y'all falling in the same trap that y'all
Con.
tried to set for us. So they small among the heathen, right? What we was going into? Let's get into the next topic though. We spent some time on this because we go in on Esau all day.
Con.
Brothers needs to go in on Esau all day, but we got to correct our people as well,
Con.
right? What's that?
And just to add on, like the everybody brothers brought out knowledgeable points. And what I got from it was they got the same playbook. That's the reason why the knowing studying these scriptures is so important because it
Hmm.
teach you it's like a cheat code. We see the punch before it comes.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not to say we ain't gonna get hit, but the Bible is like the Mayweather shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like
right, right,
we see the hit before it comes. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Con, we not ignorant of Satan's devices, man.
Right,
Hmm.
con. Yeah, exactly.
Right, but our next topic we gonna get into. All right, how long we been going? 114. Our next topic we gonna get into is something that happened in Milwaukee with the youth, right? And this is the reason why we out here on these corners. We trying to get our youth raised up In order to raise our youth up, we gotta raise their parents up too.
Uh,
Instruct them in the right direction, right? So we're gonna get into this. I guess 30. It says this is a YouTube video, but he finna go into uh, um an event that happened in Milwaukee. It says 13-year-old gunman takes 11-year-old's life.
Mm,
Robbery was the motive. 13 and 11.
that's
The
crazy.
YNs
mm.
is getting younger and younger and younger.
Them
Right,
YBs, them young babies.
young
Right.
baby. Right. Soon as finna be young infants.
Yeah, them ain't
You
even
know,
YNs. Them young babies, like the brother said.
yeah, like the brother said. Let me grab this real quick.
Damn.
And I think it happened at school, right? Think it happened at school.
This is Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8. It says, there shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, right? So menstruous women, meaning young women, right? They go bring forth monsters, right? The generation of parents, the age gap between the parents and the children is getting lower and lower. So
Right.
right now and nowadays, you got children raising children, and they bringing forth monsters,
Mm.
right? Because if you ain't got no discipline within yourself, and you never been disciplined by your parent, how you're not going to discipline your children, and it's just going to get worse and worse. That village that we once had, because it said it takes a village to raise a child. That village that we once had is no longer there. It's no longer there. It's like, you might have a couple remnants of it, but it's not there as a whole with our people, right? Granny ain't no longer 70 years old.
Right.
Granny 38 now.
Mm.
Granny 38 still trying to be a hot girl.
Right.
Granny 38 just got her body done. And she finna fly out to the Bahamas. Or she finna get on the carnival cruise and go throw that ass. That's
Right.
Granny nowadays. Granddad, he out somewhere strung out on drugs. Or he out selling rocks.
Right.
Granddad in the strip club throwing dollars. He doing all these things. Granddad on the block hustling.
Right.
With dad. Granddad
Yeah.
and dad out on the block on the same block hustling.
Yeah.
That's what you got now. You ain't got the elders leading the young generation up. You don't have that no more. Especially where we from, in Chicago or these Midwest areas.
Uh,
It's especially bad over here.
uh,
Let me grab this preset real quick before we jump into it. This well, two precepts, right? Isaiah 9. I think I'm on verse 16. Might be 13. No, 16. This Isaiah 9 and 16. It says, hold on. Yeah, 9 and 16. It says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Right. So our leaders, right, back in the ancient world, right, when we first came out of the wilderness, came into the wilderness out of Egypt, our leaders was the elders. The Lord had
right.
Moses put his hand on 70 elders, and they was leading our people. That's what I want to grab. Let me grab that real quick. I'm just grabbing on my phone so I can be quicker with it.
I got a precept too, King.
I got you right after this. Hold on. Lay hands. To Exodus 19. No, it's not Exodus 19. Salakia, hold on.
I think Arion dropped off.
He might come back on.
Uh,
He probably looking for the precept. All right, Numbers 11 and 16. Right. I'm gonna just read it. This is Numbers chapter 11 and verse 16. It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses." Well, let me jump up. No, I'm gonna just stay right here. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the spirit which is upon thee." So the Lord said He's going to take some of the spirit that's upon Moses and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. So the elders was once supposed to be partly in charge of our nation, partly leading our people with the spirit of God. So the elders, we don't have that today. The elders is trying to be YNs. The elders is trying to be, the roles is reversed. The elders is not eldering no more. They're not leading our people, right? They too busy trying to live their life. Mama got to have a life too.
Uh-huh.
That's what they do. That the baby boy.
Right,
They
right.
do it, the mama Jody mama, our baby boy. She was a granny.
Yeah.
right.
Like I said, that's the granny now. And that was back in the that movie was made in the
Early
90s,
2000.
99.
Early
That was in
2000.
99. We're in 2025 now. So it's only getting worse and worse every as the years go on. Every 10 years it's getting worse. And his mama was young.
Yeah. That was a
You know,
precursor of what was to come and how it
right,
was
a
gonna be.
precursor.
Right.
Exactly.
Huh.
Exactly. So, back then our elders was the leadership of our people. We don't have that no more. So the Lord raised up righteous men, right, to be the elders of our people, right? As it says in Acts, what is that? 21 and 20. The Lord made us overseers over the flock, right? Who is the flock? That's the nation. The Lord made the men out on the corners that got the understanding of this Bible to be the overseers, to be the elders of the people. And within
Right.
us, we got elders as well, right?
Con.
So go ahead, King, you got it.
Con. Yeah, I was just gonna land me back off you speaking about how like the elders have to the point to where it's like because you can see the shift in what's going on. Like for an example, me, I lost all my grandmothers, great and regular grandmothers. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I totally see how it's shifted the family structure in general. You know what I'm saying? Everything around me has changed, right? Because when you lose grandma and granddad, it just changes. It changes the whole infrastructure. Now you got, the people below, you know what I'm saying? They're not as caring as once your grandmother was or your grandfather was. They're
Right.
not teaching you valuable lessons as once grandfather and grandmother did. So, those people who are once held at a higher standard or a higher standard of value, they going out the picture. And the same thing with the ancients of today. You know what I'm saying? Our elders of today. They're supposed to be held at such a high standard, but they become the fools, right? They become the
Mm-hmm.
ones who don't teach us. They don't show us the way no more, right? We kind of like, grandma, like you said, grandma 38, papa, he's 40. You know what I'm saying? They still feel like they young. You know what I'm saying? They want to go live life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So, but I'm gonna pull this real quick. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, "And Yahweh standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people." And Yahweh would enter into judgment with the ancients of his people, right? Because ultimately, like you was bringing out, even in the time back then when we had 70 elders appointed over the people, right, to help judge the people and steer the people in a direction, right? Ultimately, it's kind of still that way for us. We supposed to have elders who's supposed to be leading us, the youth, and steering them in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord said he gonna plead and he gonna enter into judgment with the ancients of his people. It says,
Right.
and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard, right? Speaking about us, and the spoil of the poor is in your house, right? Verse 15, it says, what mean that ye are It's like what means that she beat my people to pieces and ground the
Mm-hmm.
faces of the poor, said the Lord God of hosts.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So ultimately, you know what I'm saying? It's the saying they used to say, when I was a little kid. I used to hear people say all the time around like where I grew up at. I mean, if you don't, you know what I'm saying, parent your children the right way, you might as well give them a golden ticket to hell. That's they used to say back in the days. You might as well give them a ticket to hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
With our ancients or our elders not being in the correct governed fashion as they should be, with knowing the scriptures and the commandments and guiding us in the right direction, y'all might as well lead us to the hellfire that's coming, to the destruction that's coming, right? Because ultimately that's where we're going anyway. Our people as a nation, right?
Correct.
If the Lord didn't bring up prophets, right, to speak His truth and His word, and we all be, you know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord say, if He don't shorten time, all flesh should be consumed. Roughly paraphrasing,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So the elders are important, but we don't have that infrastructure no more these days. You know, the Lord. That's why the Lord brought His prophets out to tell us, hey, look, this is gonna be this what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is a life or death. You know what I'm saying? Because the elders ain't telling us that no more. They want to do the same thing the young niggas doing. You know what I'm saying? They want to live the
Exactly.
same life the young niggas living. They become fools. They become unwise. Right? They kind
uh,
of lost their way, in which we've lost our way as a nation. You know, but I'm gonna land my plane right there.
Right. Granddad
I
trying
can
to go to
add on.
Young Boy concert.
Yeah,
I can
granddad. Yeah,
add on.
he hopping around like a YN. You know what I'm saying? Green flag. You know he going crazy.
He on Young Boy. He at Young Boy concert.
You know.
I can add on too. And
So
like how we get the product of a 13-year-old and 11-year-old killing each other is because matriarchy is a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And my family, I come from a I don't come from a patriarch. My family
Right.
is ran back. The women run my family. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? My
Single
grandma,
mom. Single
my
mom.
aunties, my mama. It's really no male voice. You know what I'm saying? Except me.
Mm-hmm.
I try to say something, but I'm not. I come from a matriarch, like
Right.
most brothers, and that's how we get the product of a 13 and 11-year-old killing each other because women are ruling, women are running the household. This what happens when we take the man out the house,
Right.
right? And this been a project from the white man from really the 60s, because when they put welfare in our community, they took the man out, and then
Mm-hmm.
they flooded the neighborhood with drugs, and that further messed up our communities, and that's how we ended up having this matriarch families, because the man
Right.
has been removed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the product of what we facing today. I got a precept.
Bring it up.
This Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. It's the
Mm.
kids out here robbing shit. It's the
Right.
kids out here doing the murdering,
Right.
right? And it says, and women rule over them. That's the
Mm.
matriarch system. And that was the white man's plan the whole time, to make the black man economically irrelevant. We're economic because black women got better jobs. The white man do that on purpose. They
Right.
they made the black man economically irrelevant and raised the
Mm-hmm.
black women up to be the matriarch. And that's the
Right.
product that we facing now. 13-year-old and 11-year-old shooting each other.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
facts. That's facts. Like a lot of us, we do come from the matriarchies, right? It won't be no man around. Like
Right.
mama might get a boyfriend here and there. Granny, her husband died. Or she probably never had a husband or whatever. You
Done.
know, things like that. So when a man do come about, his voice ain't getting respected. His
Right.
opinions,
Done.
his opinions don't even matter. His opinions don't even matter. He's shut out.
Yeah.
Because
That's
why? This is
real
a
talk.
matriarchy. They're
Right.
they're the government. They're the government of the family.
Right.
It's a like in my family they call my granny on my mom's side. They call my granny Queen Bee. My great grandmother. She the Queen Bee. She the
Right.
Queen Bee. Like what she say goes.
Right.
And it's like that's Big Mama. That's the Big Mama spirit.
Right.
Where even on the plantation, they would have either the elder woman. She would be in charge of the kids. She'd tell the slave man what to do and all that. And ultimately, she not doing it purposely, but she leading you to destruction. But she's
Right.
not doing it. She's not doing it over. She not doing it purposely though. She trying to
Right.
look out for your best interest. But what she's telling you to do is not a manly. Is not you showing yourself a man.
Right.
She's teaching you cowardice ways,
Right.
right? She's teaching you the ways that's go help you survive, not the ways that's gonna help you rise up and be the man that you need to be. She's not
Uh,
teaching you how to gird up your loins. She's teaching you how to, take what you can and get up out the white man face and do this and always be polite when you're
uh,
talking on the phone. What she'd say, groom yourself. Don't be looking any kind of way in front of these people. Stand up straight. Make sure you're speaking, proper when you're talking to the white man, and or put your head down when he walk past and shit like that. She's teaching you how to be docile.
right.
She's not teaching you how to be a man. She's teaching you how to survive and stay out their way. And them same trinkets is still in our family system today,
Right.
in which how our grandmothers, those of us that do have those super elder big mama grandmothers in our family, we still see that today, in which how like my grandmother, she told me to she was like, I didn't listen. It happened to me anyways though through my baby mama, but I didn't listen. But my grandma was like, yeah, just put yourself on child support, and well, I'm what? What you talking about? Like what you talking about? You saying these things like that? That don't even make sense for real.
Right.
To put yourself on like, and then my mom, she has the big mama spirit too. Not going in on my family, but she was saying that she wanted me to be a correctional officer and do all these other things and all that. She was like, so you be on the right side of the law. So when they look at you, they won't be like, forget the right side of the law.
Right.
I'm a rebel, man.
Right.
We rebellious. Like the Lord gave us the spirit that we got. I'm a rebel.
Right.
I defy the government. I'm not finna work with it.
Right.
I recognize it as corrupt. See,
Uh,
people in the world, they recognize the government as corrupt, but they go try to run with it for their best benefit or
right.
to survive. A lot of our people, they living off survival. They're not living off trying to, defy it and, raise up a new nation within a nation. We
Right.
raising up a new nation within a nation.
Right.
And that's an act of war right there. It take war to do that.
Uh,
For you to raise up your nation in the midst of another nation, they can be like, hold
right.
on, you trying to raise this up. This nation supposed to be one nation, but you trying to raise up the nation of Israel in the middle of America.
Right.
It take a spirit of defiancy to do that. You can't
Uh,
do that trying to be in coalition with this nation. You can't do that.
right.
And being in coalition with this nation is what a matriarchy is gonna teach you to
Uh,
land my plane. That's what it's gonna teach you, and that's the opposite of what our people need. The opposite, right? We need that patriarchy. We need the father in the household. Brothers and dropped off. We need the father in the household. We need all of these things. The father in the household. We need that male influence upon
uh,
our children, right? We need that belt.
uh,
We need daddy in the house putting belt to ass.
right.
And telling our young men how to handle their emotions instead of becoming a YN and going out and shooting shit up. That's what we need.
Uh,
Teach your son, teach your daughter how to handle their emotions, how to get out of burdensome situations and things like that. So she won't turn to the stripper pole just because rent is due and she don't know what else to do. So she won't try to sleep with the landlord or sleep with the
right.
mechanic just to get her car fixed.
Right.
Using her body to get ahead, things like that. A man in a household can prevent all of those things from happening. And
Uh,
the white man know that. That's why he took it out, like you said. But we go to the video real quick just to get in on the article on my screen. This will be the last topic because we've been on almost 2 hours.
Time
The
flew.
spirit rolling
Time.
though. The spirit rolling though.
uh,
Bro, just that. Right here. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Hold on. It ain't no volume to it right now. See if he starts though.
If you hood
Y'all hear
educated,
that?
I'm glad you made it.
Con.
I don't
Allow
hear
me
it.
to unfold
I
my
hear it.
knowledge, wisdom, and understanding
You don't hear it, my boy?
Nah, I don't hear it, King.
Damn.
Want me back out and come back in?
you to
Yeah,
all of you
probably do that.
here, there, and
Okay,
everywhere.
All right, Con, let's see if you hear it now. Let me know.
Now check me out.
Had
yeah, I hear
to,
it now. Yep.
no matter what was going on, he walking in with his head held high, no matter what.
He loved to dance and play football. Family remembering 11-year-old Dion Sargent, who went by Mr. Sargent was shot and killed Tuesday night near 68th and Silver Spring. Milwaukee police say the shooting happened as the result of a robbery and that a 13-year-old has been arrested.
Mike Beermeister joining us live now near 68th in Silver Spring with how the family is remembering another young life, Mike, gone way too soon.
Fun, outgoing, outspoken, just a fraction of the words family used to describe the late Dion Sargent, who, as you said, went by Mr. His death has left this community here in shock. I spoke with his older cousin, Denise, earlier today, who tells me that he was just the life of the party, a lot of fun, and she's trying to be strong for their family right now. She says Mr. was a dancing machine. He loved to make TikToks, but he also loved the gridiron and playing football, bringing energy and positivity to everything that he did. Both his football coaches and Kenny say he was a true leader that'll be dearly missed.
Huh. So what brothers got on that?
I got a precept.
Con, I got a
Let me know.
precept too. Hey, hey,
No.
cause like this time I don't know if I can hear you or not.
Testing.
Con, yeah, I can't hear you. I'm finna drop off and hop back on.
All right.
Yeah, I got a precept.
Go
This
ahead.
Mark 3:27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. So, like we were saying, like the product of this really goes back to the so-called white man who was the devil, removing patriarchy and replacing it with matriarchy. You know what I'm saying? And this is the
Mhm.
product. This is the product of that. A 13-year-old killing an 11-year-old is crazy. That's crazy.
That's insane. Salakia. When I was 13, I wasn't thinking about nothing like that was crossing my mind, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I was 13, I was worried about kid things. I was worried about, the simplest things in life. You see what I'm saying?
I can't help, bro. Uh,
Oh, it's like let me see. He said he can't hear you. I hear
Can,
you though because you
can you
hear
hear
me.
can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm gonna back out and come back in.
All right, Con.
Yeah, con. Yeah, but what I was saying, when I was 13, I was thinking about the most simplest things in life. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about robbing nobody. I wasn't thinking about murder. I wasn't thinking about, nothing crazy. I'm a kid, coming from where I come from, worried about having fun, being around my cousins, being around my friends, doing
Uh,
this and doing that. So to hear that is it's insane, but in today's age, it's not far fetched because it's prophetic too, right?
uh,
Right.
In the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12, the Lord Himself, because there's a red letter, He said, "And because iniquity, which means sin, shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." So a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old supposed to be playing on the same playground together, loving one
mhm,
another, being kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
right.
But iniquity is so high in the earth that that tender love is getting wiped away. That love is waxing cold. So now you got a 11, 13-year old encountering each other and one robbing each other, trying to rob each other and take a life. You know what I'm saying? That's like back when we was growing up. You didn't really you couldn't hear about no type of stuff like that. That's how you know we in the days of the end. You see what I'm saying? Because of all these things that's coming to pass. It's speaking for itself. Like love is truly waxing cold in our nation, and it's even trickling down, like you said, into the young kids. What we call YBs, right? The YNs, and now, like the brother said, it's gonna be young infants. It's gonna get worse and worse.
Right.
It's gonna get worse and worse, right? But I
Uh,
yield.
Con, I got a precept, quick one. This Amos chapter 7 and verse 16, because ultimately these things is happening in our communities because our people reject the word of the Lord,
right.
right? Because in the word of the Lord, as brothers brought out, it say train up a child in the way that he should go. In the word of the Lord, it say in Deuteronomy 6 and verse 6 on down that you should teach these commandments diligently unto your children. If our people wasn't rejecting this Bible and the word of the Lord, we'd be in better off position.
Right.
Right? This Amos 7 to 15, it says, I'm starting at 16. It says, now therefore, hear the word of Yahweh. Thou sayest, prophesy not against Israel, and drop not thy word against the house of Isaac. So our people, they tell us on the corners, I ain't trying to hear that Bible. I ain't got time for the word right now. We ask
Right.
them like, brother, you got 2 minutes for the word? Not right now. That's them telling us prophesy not against them. Because they know
Right.
we finna come with that real raw truth. We ain't they pastor out there.
Right.
We finna tell them, brother, put them cigarettes down, stop being, homosexual, stop doing all these other things that you're doing. We're gonna tell them those things. And they don't want to hear that. So therefore the Lord said this. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city. So your wife, this is one of my favorite precepts because it's so real. Your
Right.
wife gonna be a hoe in the city. Every woman on your Facebook got down OnlyFans page. And every one of them. And if they don't got OnlyFans, they inboxing you, asking you to cash app them for their content.
Right.
And if they not doing that, they twerking
Right.
and making videos. And if they not doing that, they doing some other horrendous act that lead into harlotry. They stripping, doing all these other things, right? Or entertaining those things, or the thought of those things. Our wives, meaning our women, they harlots in the city, they whores. It says, and thy sons and thy daughters, many your little ones, shall fall by the sword. You got our young children, they falling by the sword. This little boy was 11 years old and he got robbed by a 13-year-old. What the hell do an 11-year-old got that a 13-year-old need?
Right.
Like, little
Uh.
kids don't even got no job. What you got, an allowance? What you get? You trying to rob him for his allowance, his lunch money?
Right.
Like, what you taking from him for real? The brother Aharon, he was on. He said that he tried to take his gun or something like that. But it's like what? I don't understand it for real.
Uh.
I don't get that. It's like if Akash dropped off. But yeah, I don't get that. So it says, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line. Right? Our land, our actual land, where we from, Israel, is being divided by line right now. They trying to make a damn Palestinian state. They got the Israeli state. They fighting over they both fighting over a land that don't belong to neither one of their ass.
Right.
Right? And also over here, we're in the land of our captivity, our land is divided by a line.
Mm.
Right? We subject to the ghettos and the barrios and these neighborhoods and these projects and these slums, right? Under the demise of redlining. Right? Our land is being divided by line and we being subject to gentrification right now. Right now, we got this part of our city in Joliet called the Inn, right? And on what is that? Not on Des Plaines. Is it Des Plaines? On one of the streets, they tearing down a lot of the houses that's over there. They tearing down the houses and they said they go make it a highway route and they go make it like a walk trail.
Mm.
So
Man,
they tearing down people's houses. They done bought the houses from the people, tearing them down, and they gonna make a walk trail and another extension to the highway. When
right.
those was people houses, that's a neighborhood over there, and they finna tear that down.
And then Shalakia,
Go ahead.
you can hear me?
Yeah.
And the houses that they building is houses for people like because gentrification is a real thing. The type
Right.
of houses that they building and the stuff that they building, they figure okay, more higher paid people can afford this area now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the form because like how we know, you know what I'm saying. We rode by, we've seen what they built. We know the projects that they're working on, trying to build, like you
Right.
said, the highway and so forth.
Right.
Those houses for the average American or even just the minority, so they say we are, right, to afford those type of houses, we have to be on Section 8 because we don't get paid enough to even come out of pocket for those type of things. That's a form of
Right.
gentrification, right? But
Right.
they figure, our people make enough money to afford this area now, so let's kick all of them out and bring them in. It'll be a safer place. That's why they can feel like they feel
Exactly.
as if they can build a walk trail and
Exactly.
so
A
forth and
walk
so
trail.
on. You see what I'm
A
saying? A
walk
walk
trail.
trail. And once
Niggas
the
don't
place,
even walk.
come on, man.
Niggas
Like, come on, man.
a
You know,
walk in the bike trail, like.
yeah, so that's like you said, gentrification at its finest, right? This white man he's far from dumb. You see what I'm saying? The games that he played, he knows exactly what he's doing, man. He did the same thing to Chicago, right? Took certain parts of Chicago where brothers teach at on the east side, right?
Mm-hmm.
He took that area from predominantly black people, our people, and made it what into a gentrified place now. Now you got everybody over there, right? That's what they do, man. They covet where you be, build it up, and say this ours. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But kind of you.
It is ours. Right. So just to finish off that verse, it said, "Therefore thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land." Right
Mm,
where we at? This is a polluted land right here. It's polluted not only with the chemicals and the chemtrails and all of that, but on a philosophical level, this place is polluted. You got all these different religions, all these different ways of life, all these different drugs and sexualities and different things that's going on. This is a polluted land, right? It says, "And Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land," meaning out of your land we go into captivity, and that's where we at right now. And this is where our people been dying at. The little boy, the 11-year-old, he died in a polluted land.
Right.
All of our loved ones, the brother Trey Reed, he died in a polluted land.
Uh,
This land is polluted, right? So like, let me grab this one last precept, Micah 2:2,
I got a
just to
closing
speak on
precept too.
just to speak on that polluted,
Uh,
right? And this will be my closing precept.
uh,
I mean Micah 2:10, right? It says, "Arise ye and depart," meaning get up and get out, right? Not physically, right? But spiritually and mentally. Take your mind out of this society. Take your mind out of America, right? Stop trying to live for, to get that promotion at work. And I mean, not saying that that's a bad thing, but take your heart out of this place. It's okay to get promoted at work. It's okay to, put effort into your job and all that, but don't make it seem like you trying to, basically, build up to survive in this society for 5 generations on down and all of that. No, we hoping that the Lord redeem us out of this place in our lifetime, right? That should be where your heart at, right? It says, "Seek ye first the kingdom," right? Not the white man's kingdom, but your kingdom, right?
right.
So it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." This place right here is not our rest. This is not where you're supposed to be. This is not where we're supposed to be dying at. This is not where we're supposed to be, living our total lives at. This is captivity. This is a prison sentence.
Uh,
It says, "For this is not your rest, because it is polluted." This place right here is polluted, right? And I describe the things that pollutes it, right? It says, It's like y'all jumped up. It says, "It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." And this place is going to destroy you mentally, physically, emotionally, philosophically, spiritually. This place is all designed to destroy you. This place, Babylon the Great, America, is the cage of every foul spirit and every unclean and hateful bird, right? And if you dwell in it too long, you go kind of become subject to his ways, and you go kind of start to adapt yourself to his ways, and you can't think like that. You can't be like that. We see it on our people all the time. We came out of that. We was once like them, but we came out of that. We was once like you, but we came out of that. And now we see this world for what it is. We so-called unplugged ourselves from the matrix, and we departed from it. We no longer have our hearts in this land. We no longer have our hearts in this society. We seek in the kingdom. Right? That's all I got. And that's what you should do.
God.
Con. I'm gonna hop in there. I got two closing precepts. Because the thing that we're doing, we're not just doing a light work for the Most High God, right? We're not just doing something that I'm pretty sure every brother on this call and every brother who's listening, every sister who's listening, never grew up in their childhood seeing themselves being in this walk of life, right? And it's for a purpose. Nothing is coincidental. Everything is purposeful. You see what I'm
God.
saying? Um, so what we doing when we do these lessons and when we cover these topics and when brothers go out there week in, week out and become living sacrifices, right? They doing this for the Lord and ultimately for the kingdom. It's also for you and the elect, right? And what we're doing is we singing a whole new different song, right? Because we know judgment is coming. We know what's about to come to America, right? We understand the judgments of the Most High God. We understand, the things that our people can't see. So the Lord sent men out to tell you what's about to come, right? It's the book of Judah, chapter 16 and verse 13. It says, I will sing unto the Lord a new song, right? That new song meaning doctrine, right? We're not pushing Christianity. We're not pushing the old doctrine that our grandmothers pushed, the grandfathers pushed, or the ancients pushed. We preaching a whole new song, man, because we in the time of the end, and that's why we able to preach this gospel like the way we do, sing this new song, right? It says, "Oh Lord, thou art great and glorious, wonderful in strength and invincible." Who can come up? Who can come up against somebody that's invincible? You
Right.
see what I'm saying? You can't conquer the invincible. So us understanding that, we understand that, hey, the day of the Lord, when it come, if you're not heeding to this word, if you're not listening, if you're not being what's the word I'm looking for? If you're not watching the prophecies and so forth and so on, you're gonna fall into sore destruction, man. Right? There's another precept I got. This the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 14. Right? It says the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasting greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry therein, bitterly therein. The day is a day of wrath, right? So people we brought up in the churches, they say, oh, it's gonna be a rapture, you know what I'm saying, pre-rapture, where people gonna escape the destruction and so forth and so on. Hey, that's the thing of a figment of your imagination, man. The Lord say it's about to be a time where we all gonna go through. But the righteous is going to escape from this time. That's why we're telling our people to wake up in the last days. We singing a new song, right? A different gospel, right? We, like the brother said, we looked at as rebels. We're very rebellious in the eyes of this government and the people, man. That's why they
God.
can't. They don't understand us. They don't get what we're doing. They think what we're doing it's a cult. It's a facade. It's all these niggas is tripping. No, it's spiritual. What's going on? You see what I'm saying? It
All right.
says, the day is a day of wrath and a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, in which the Lord has brought men out to be alarmed against the fenced cities, man. That's why our brothers go out on the highways and byways and do what they do, man. Right? Because the Lord commanded us to do so for a reason. We gotta wake up the elect, man. We gotta save ourselves and our families and the elect. That's what we do it for ultimately, man.
God.
Right.
Right? It says, and against the high towers, and I will bring distress upon men. Right? That's men, women, and children. The Lord is not a respective of persons. Anybody can get it. It don't matter what you if you against it, if you're not for the truth, you're against the truth, man. That's just
God.
how it is. And it says that they shall walk like blind men, right? Not having the proper wisdom, the proper understanding, being blind. You can't see the vision. Don't understand what we're doing and why we're doing it, right? It says because they have sinned against the Lord and and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Verse 18, it says, neither their silver nor their gold, like the brother brought out, right? Don't put yourself in this, don't you trying to live for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations down the line, but in this lifetime, we want the Lord to come back to save us, man, because we understand what's coming, right? So your gold can't save you, your riches can't save you, right? Only thing that can save you is keeping the commandments and walking thoroughly in those commandments, man, and loving your brother and so forth and so on, right? It says to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured, right, by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of them all that dwell in the land, man, right? So we understand that America is about to be a place of desolation, man, right? So this song that we sing in this new gospel, man, this is the only truth that's supposed to be out there, that's supposed to be taught, man. Everything else is abominable, man. Right? So it's a blessing for the Most High God to give us this truth to spread to our people, man. You know, and that's I want to land my plane with that. I want to give all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim and Mashiach Malaki Yahushua, man. Right? It's a beautiful thing that we're in this truth because guess what? We got a chance to make it out, man. Right? And I'm gonna land my plane with that.
I want to add on. With both of the brothers, they brought up prolific knowledge and beautiful point. And I just want to touch on the subject of 13-year-old killing an 11-year-old. Hatred pointed in the right direction is beautiful. I'm gonna repeat that. Hatred pointed in the right direction is beautiful, but when it's pointed in the wrong direction towards your own people, it's detrimental to our community. Now I'm gonna prove the point that hatred that's pointed in the right direction is beautiful. This is a quote from our brother Clint King David. This is Psalms 139 and 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? The white man rise up against God's laws every day. We say marriage is between a man and a woman. They say marriage can be a man and a man. They are straight opposition with God. It's 22. It's what David said. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. So it's very important to know who your enemy is. You know, and to hate your enemy is nothing wrong with that. A 13-year-old killing an 11-year-old is a child that don't know who their enemy is. That 13-year-old looked at that 11-year-old as an enemy. That's why he committed that ferocious sin. You know what I'm saying? So us Hebrew Israelites, we in straight opposition with the white man's propaganda because we teaching our people to hate who they supposed to hate and love who they supposed to love. And I land my plane with that.
All praise.
All praise to the Most High. Right, so we're gonna say once again, man. You know, Ashar Chaadash, Happy New Moon, Israel. You know, we the angels, right? Coming at y'all with another lesson, man. Want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? Keep the commandments, keep the faith. Hey, we recruiting in Milwaukee, we're recruiting in Chicago, we're recruiting in Texas, we're recruiting in South Carolina / Augusta, Georgia. You know, hey, if you in them any of them areas, reach out, man. Reach out. It's time to do this work. Put your hand to the plow. Right. It's time to put this work in. You want to put your brick in. You want the Lord to look at you and be like, "Well done, my faithful servant." And the way to do that is to get your ass out on them highways and byways.
That's right.
Right. And to teach your people. Right. Get on these classes, get built up, and go out there and teach your people. Right. So, like I said, once again, all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Shah. I'll say, Kom Yashala Shalom.
Kwame Ashala, Shalom.
Shalom.